Hey, my name is Peter Hall,
My name is Josh Hall.
and today we're going to be talking about the behavior from members of Together for Redlands at Redlands Unified School District Board meetings.
I fucking hated that son of a bitch yesterday that spammed the school board yesterday.
Yeah, I think his name is Michael Laird.
He was annoying. He was shouting the whole time. He had the most annoying voice I've ever heard.
Yeah. Anyway, at the last meeting, not this one, the last meeting was on it was a couple of days ago on what's today, the 28th. The last meeting was on the 26th, which was Tuesday. The meeting
That
before
was yesterday.
Yeah, okay, Tuesday. The meeting before that was, I believe, on the 13th, and Bay Hamilton, one of the most prominent members of Together for Redlands, interrupted Juan Cabral twice when he was talking about action items for the on the school board. They were talking about a mental health policy and relating to notifying parents of their children's records pertaining to their time on campus. And Bay Hamilton interrupted him twice and said that it was a HIPAA violation. And the first time nobody reacted. The second time, the only person to react was Superintendent Cabral, and he said that nobody was going to commit any HIPAA violations, etc. But other than that, nobody chastised Bay Hamilton. Nobody asked him to leave. At the last meeting, which was yesterday, they were continuously interrupting the school board while they were discussing voting on board policies, and I don't think anybody was asked to leave. Um, but I've been asked to leave a couple of times because,
I've been kicked out more
yeah,
times than I can count.
we've lost our tempers a couple of times, but we've never yelled at the school board members or accused them of anything. We've never insulted them. We haven't even done that to the board members that we disagree with. Vice President Patty Hallahan and board member Melissa Ayala Quintero. But the Together for Redlands members, which are endorsed by Vice President Patty Hallahan and Melissa Ayala Quintero, regularly harass and insult board president Michelle Rendler, board clerk Jeanette Wilson, and board member Candy Olson. And
Juan Cabral.
most of the time they get away with it. But every time there's a school board meeting, people like Michael Paisner and other members have to complain about unfair, unequal treatment at the hands of the school board. And it's really starting to irritate me. It's really starting to piss me off. Every time.
What you said yesterday in private to me really struck me. These people aren't just liars, they're peacocks, they're provocateurs.
Yeah, these people are liars, and they're also, like Josh said, and I said this to him, they're peacocks, they're performers, they're provocateurs. Everything they do for an audience. They always want attention. That's what they want most. They want attention. And that's why they're always demanding things like flags and stuff like that and observances for pride, because they want attention. That's all they care about. And they say that Michael Paisner and other members say that they're a nonpartisan group.
It's not just attention, though. It's really a humiliation ritual. I think I said that I touched on this yesterday, but a man should not be able to leave. A man should not be able to leave his house in a dress and walk around in public in a dress, and especially he should not be able to go into a government building wearing a dress. That is a humiliation ritual. They fetishize in self-humiliation rituals. They love humiliating themselves. They fetishize in it. But then they project their self-humiliation rituals onto the public and in the objective of completely obliterating societal and cultural norms. So it's a humiliation ritual all around, and we shouldn't put up with it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Michael Paisner said at the last meeting that Together for Redlands is a nonpartisan group, and that they're an organization that exists for everyone who lives in Redlands, and I call bullshit on that. These people are not nonpartisan, not in any way at all. They're
There's
actually
no such thing as nonpartisan.
yeah. Well, what they actually are is an Antifa affiliated trans advocacy group, and their championing of minority of rights for like people of color, etc., is just window dressing. All they really care about is transgenderism advocacy. That's their main goal.
And LGBTQ advocacy broadly.
Yeah, well, the the T is part of the LGB.
Yeah.
The TQ is part of the LGB.
I'm not going beyond the Q. That's what the plus is for. Not doing the IA blah 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 blah.
Well, yeah, that's why I call them the LG. That's why they're called the LGBTQ community or the alphabet community. Blah blah blah. Also, at just about every meeting, every recent meeting, Michael Paisner or some other member has to rant and rave about how the Together for Redlands group is being slandered and defamed. And I actually did an analysis of like 4 meetings from last year, 2 meetings in June, 1 meeting in September, and 1 meeting in October. And Trisha Keeling actually, I forget which meeting it was, but it was like one of the later meetings. It was either in September or October. She actually issued a cease and desist letter to the school board demanding that the school board and members of the other group, which we belong to, Awaken Redlands, stop slandering and defaming.
I think that was one of the meetings where like I was wearing my Manzanar t-shirt and they said that I was in favor of locking up Japanese Americans.
Yeah. But she publicly read a cease and desist letter to the school board demanding that we stop slandering and defaming Together for Redlands. But every time they speak before the school board, they slander and defame people that they don't like. They slander and defame President Michelle Rendler, school board clerk Jeanette Wilson, and school board member Candy Olson. They slander
and Juan Cabral all the time.
Yeah, well, him to a lesser extent, but I suppose they slander and defame other. They slander and defame.
The only 2 members
people,
they never
members
attack
of
are
the community.
Patty Holohan and Michelle. And
well, that's because they're members of Together for Redlands or support them.
Yeah,
but they slander and defame members of the audience, members of the audience in the community who aren't on the school board. And what's really funny to me is that every time they slander and defame us, like, nobody says anything. Nobody tries to stop them. Nobody objects. Nobody makes a counterpoint. Aaron Fernando at one of the past meetings last year, this is like way back, like almost a year ago now, but like he publicly accused John Barry of sexually objectifying him via photography and claimed that John Barry was photographic was
I thought that was like a couple months ago.
No, that was last year. Sheesh, you have such a poor time frame of memory. No, that was not a few months ago. Now stop interrupting. Okay. So he publicly accused John Barry of sexually objectifying him via photography because John Barry was taking pictures of everybody who spoke at the meeting. He claimed that John Barry was obsessing over his ass. Aaron Fernando is the type of person that thinks that all straight conservative men are secretly gay or at least bi. So I think he has an overly inflated opinion of his sexual attractiveness to other men. So make of that what you will. So they defame us all the time. They accuse us all the time, and most of the time it goes unchallenged. It goes unconfronted. But every time we say anything against them, they always have to say something about it. Michael Paisner has made a habit of demanding to speak every time anybody says anything that he feels personally threatened by.
Yep, he did that at the last meeting,
or the meeting before the last meeting. Yeah, so these people are irritating the fuck out of me. Also at one of the meetings last year, Valerie Tabor demanded that the school board implement a policy making it so that people couldn't name non-members of the school board publicly, and Michelle Rindler and the board implemented that policy, and already Together for Redlands members have run afoul of it because Bay Hamilton named Josh publicly.
And Dale.
Yes, and Dale, who's running for the school board, he named Josh publicly when he read posts that he said Josh that was threatening to kill people who he didn't agree with politically. And Michelle Rindler stopped him and told him that he couldn't name members of the audience publicly. So Bay Hamilton had to, he was able to complete his statement, but he had to, retract Josh's name. So yeah, they implemented the school board implemented this, rule whereby nobody can name other people who aren't school board members publicly. And they did that on the demands of Together for Redlands, and Together for Redlands is already running afoul of their own rule that they had implemented. So I think that's peak irony and hypocrisy right there.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Yep. And the last couple of meetings went by pretty quickly. They were over an hour, or a couple hours. This one was probably over 5 hours. And like Josh said, members of Together for Redlands were spamming the school board with
Michael Laird in particular. He had 20.
Yeah, they were spamming the school
comments.
board with agenda item cards. And this is a favorite tactic of theirs. They've even admitted that they're doing this as a form of filibuster. They will spam the school board with as many item cards as possible, and then complain that the school board is making the meetings run too long and restricting people's time of comment, and etc. But they're the ones responsible for all this. These people are just obnoxious and infuriating. They cause their own problems, and then they get mad at others for what they cause. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about that.